But I guess you can't do that, because it doesn't sell products. I guess you have to freak completely out in order to sell products.
Stop looking at the snowflakes and focus!
Isn't coated in feces. I got distracted. And occasionally I spray a little Febreze on my dog. You, sir, have digressed! But I lower myself to the point where I have to buy these things.
The other day, I had to go get a battery for my minivan. And I do drive a minivan, and it's cool, so screw you.
At this moment, I am about to have a seriously disturbing conversation with myself. Now, as long as my sheets don't smell like they're rotting and are covered in, like, dead animals, I don't really care. As long as, you know, because I don't need them to smell exhilarating. I just need them to not smell bad. I don't have any other friends, therefore there is no cake. And there's a level that horribly exceeds that. Well, I'll show you. Those who herald the destruction of your petty squabbles, not understanding that which you vie for.
Frankly, it's quite a lot harder to navigate the world and the universe we live in when everything's upside down.
And, you know, be covered in cats.
So I am in no way, if you do, I am in no way attempting to tell you how to do your job. But if you'd like to know, you know, just, I figure it would be common friggin' sense to have the calendars unpacked by this time of year so I could purchase them.
Okay, if you're calling me out by this point in the video, don't worry. I've definitely got a whole lot more where this came from. A host who produces the world's beer and lead-based paints.
Just a thought. I mean, maybe there's something I'm not understanding here.
Hi, it's me, Chris Marks.
To be intelligent in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, wait. Spray on, freshness lovers. Spray on. No! And the whole thing just got blown disastrously out of proportion. Because I don't even use fabric softener. I just stole that jug from somebody else so I could use it in this video. You have to be professional. My face. Oh, it smells so good! So there's a lot of hair on him. I just spilled that all over myself. Meant the reconstructive devastation of life as we know it. You know, cat urine. Where people live, Mesa Verde is over here.
I don't know. I think I could get used to it.
It's not okay. My opinions on Valentine's Day, however, have not changed. But if it just gets really bad, because I've forgotten to vacuum, I wrap myself in double stick tape and roll around on the floor for like an hour. It's kind of what I imagine hell looks like. The person's a crazy cat lady, and they have like 50 cats. None of them are fixed, and they're like urinating all over the house, and the litter box is overflowing with the copious amount of cat poop, and it's just horrifying. I don't think I passed a single vehicle. You can coat that entire house in Febreze, it's still gonna smell bad. This is finished jet dry. It is a dishwasher cleaning fluid. Well, actually, it's a dish cleaning fluid. And I guess at that point, things just got out of hand. It's like, well, I guess I'll go get breakfast. But I digress. I like Mass Effect. Where was I going with this? Oh, I don't really care. It's not gonna pay the bills, sweetheart. Certainly don't smell like they've been drenched in snug. I'm going to tell you the greatest vacation story ever. I suggest you go do something more productive with your time. It's so difficult. Hydration is very important. Yes, because this is a country that was founded on equal rights. You are probably just watching videos on YouTube to distract yourself from the misery and, you know, unending torment of your own life. Where nobody lives. You are greeted with miles and miles and miles and hours and hours and hours and hours of straight up nothing. It's just miles and 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 miles, and I really don't think you grasp. So you can still love me. And there's the lady behind the desk. Like, I walk in there, and I'm thinking some psycho could, like, stab me to death right now, and no one would ever know. I don't want to be taking advice on how to feel about certain things from a guy who has a Mass Effect tattoo, but whatever. You always hear about those, like, murders and stuff where the victim stabbed like 47 times. Like, you know, Jim Crow laws or slavery. Yeah, it's probably very unpleasant, like highly unpleasant, to be stabbed multiple times. I mean, I'm sure I didn't need to explain that to you, because it sounds straight up unpleasant. Apparently, when someone said that they believe in traditional family values, someone else heard homosexuality is an abomination. No, I have to drive 8 more frigging miles down this other desolate road out in the desert. So that doesn't give people who get, you know, their panties in a bunch about this complete landmarkless field of dirt. It was a military base, but it was like it lacked the tactical importance of every single military base. I'm not religious. Do I have a problem with religious people? No. It's nothing for miles and miles and miles. I don't know if I've stressed that enough. You don't. Words are not flowing up here. Just like this guy. Well, actually, religion is kind of a conscious choice. Sexuality and skin color aren't. You can't really decide on those things. Full on crazy mode. I didn't see lights. I didn't see landmarks. I didn't see anything. I just want, you know, a chicken breakfast on Sundays. At that point, it became immediately apparent that I no longer had control of the situation. If you think sexuality is a choice, try changing yours. Talking out loud to myself, mostly just to silence the screaming in my own head. Do I have, well, yes, sort of. Amphetamine. I know I sure couldn't. Kids lose it. The European Union is going to collapse under the dead weight of like a bunch of financially horrifically mangled countries, and the United States is going to be the last bastion of, you know. I got sidetracked. Because this is getting out of hand. Horrifyingly boring that we need to blow stuff like this out of proportion in order to entertain ourselves? A repurposed correctional facility. I mean, that's not much of a stretch. I mean, a guy in a rat costume. Do you really need that many colors? Oh my god, that's shocking! They went berserk. What? Oh, it's Midnight Dark Amethyst. Because that makes me sound like a complete fruitcake. I'm crazy. But I brought booze. Orgy. Yeah, so it's not a choice. That works both ways. See what I did there? Anyhow, in a rat costume was their god. It was like the second coming of Christ. A radioactive garden full of radioactive pine trees. Where their roots like come up out of the ground and try and snag your ankle. These kids treated Chucky like he was Christ. Drag you into their subterranean world like the Morlocks. And I hated it. It was hard to park, it was hard to turn, it was gigantic, and it got 14.5 miles per gallon. Sunburst Orange Pearl. $80,000 for a Chevy Tahoe with a different body style. Be my friggin' guest. Just don't ask me to hop on the bandwagon. On my swag on, or whatever. Whatever. Not acceptable. A road trip. Come on, guys. Now, I live in Florida, so it's not really a big problem with me. Hi.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Chris. It doesn't smell like a forest. It doesn't smell like no forest I ever been in. I can hear. Air fresheners do not smell like Christmas trees. That I have a very particular problem with.
Holy shit.
Alright? And you can see my heartbeat through my sternum.
Stuffing evenly without me having to rearrange my stuffing?
We're cut. Making the car.
And like rearrange everything, and then the film always gets caught in the gravy.
If I drop the back seats, I can sleep in the back of my Honda. I've done it. Would anybody like some pound cake?
Meanwhile, while he's getting ready, I'm gonna tell you a knock-knock joke. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Unsharpened pencil.
Unsharpened pencil who?
Never mind, it's pointless.
5 different times on each side. $1 to fill your gas tank? Okay, back to this guy for like half the price. Guy's thing.
Do that! I just want to slide this puppy in the microwave.
This much car, and then just a little bit less spoiler.
Halfway through my microwaving session to like babysit it and move the film, and like rearrange the turkey slices and burn myself on the mashed potatoes and rearrange the mashed potatoes and stir the stuffing. No!
And prayers. Like, the guy just put it on, stuck like a piece of gum there, and was like, let's hope this works. Oh, God. Fit my head in it. I'm having an identity crisis with itself. The car sounds like... Or just the underneath bit of the... Hey, man! You want a race? Oh, Jesus. It tastes like stomach bile. The car was shiny, and there were different colors. The spoiler was approximately the size of my car. The function of spoilers are. That's how big the spoiler was. Staring, I'm in awe, and he must think that I'm impressed. I'm not impressed by the car that once was a Mitsubishi Eclipse. I'm disgusted. What kind of car is that? I could have probably beaten him. I probably could have. Now my life is a hideous montage of spiraling depression. I'm in a residential neighborhood picking someone up from the hospital. I know what it looks like, because I've seen a bunch of them. That part is going to have to get cut out of the video. I'm just looking at the car, I'm like, what did you do? Me and a couple of my friends, including but by no means limited to John, do it. Now, I'm sorry, but doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? Night started to get a little strange. Wrong here, but honestly, there's a point where you have to say enough is enough. This is that point in the night. In the back to drag along the street, because if you can't have a nice car, having a crappy car that gets people's attention is the next best thing. Before I decide to go to bed, I can go to bed at 6:30. Well, the sun is still up, and the night would have still reached a point at which I was horrified by something that happened. And what was sad about it was not that the vehicle was so tricked out, and I use the term very loosely. What is sad about it is that the guy was proud of this. Like it was some sort of accomplishment that he had crammed 9 times his car's original weight onto his car in non-power producing additions to the car. Sugar-coated Sour Patch straws or whatever. John acquires his taquitos, and we get back in the car. This is when things in the... That's exactly what it sounded like as he pulls up next to me. But I'm not very tactful on my best day. You, at your worst level of tactfulness, is probably not even half as less tact... Double negatives are tricky. Because I have pneumonia. Where things started to happen that horrified me. And it was delicious. This is the period of the night that I was unable to recover from. Sometimes that point is reached even before the sun goes down. Actually, I pretty much always look like this. I don't know. Okay, so John has acquired his taquitos. We all get back in the car. And I demolished the entire thing. It was alarming because a horrible aroma has arisen in the car. And I had to inquire, and I did this as tactfully as possible. I want you to know. How do I double negative? Oh my god. To broach the subject of this aroma in the following manner. God, what is that stench? I'm still not hungry. It is sitting in my stomach like a lead brick. That's how that... And I end up leaving a really awkward message. That's literally how I decided to inquire as the... Now... Around in the back seat, one of my friends has just had an apocalyptic bowel spasm or something. See what my life has become. I can't tell you what I do for a living. Well, that's the wrong caller. So you're obligated to guess. Here to my house, and I fell asleep for like 15 hours. I only woke up because I was dehydrated. Wound sites in advanced stages of septicemia. It was literally, I've literally never been more repulsed by a smell in my life. Career as a YouTube celebrity. What are they made out of? Also, I haven't shaved in like forever. Anyone who can eat 7-Eleven gas station taquitos and not have an apocalyptic bowel spasm deserves the food poisoning they are eventually going to get. It's just the greatest thing ever. Something. And it smells like septic wound / apocalyptic bowel spasm. You really maybe need to examine the choices you're making with your life. The plate was definitely bigger than my stomach. At some point, your life's going to reach a point where nothing profitable is going to happen. Sauce. That's how I pronounce sauce. It's not like I'm running out of things to be angry about. I will never run out of things to be angry about. John's life reached that point in the back of my car that night with those apocalyptic taquitos. Just gorged themselves on like a wildebeest carcass. If you want to gorge yourself on humanity's version of a wildebeest carcass. Really? Hang up? I was just going to keep talking until he answered his phone. And I haven't had enough. Is about that stupid voice. Tastes like stomach bile. This is Christopher Marks. I'm not here right now, but leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, it holds a special place in my heart for the things that really tick me off, which for the record takes up 90% of my heart. And the rest of my body too. So and I'm just like, I know how to leave a message. Only 10% of, you know, this is just going to get all kinds of confusing, so I'm going to stop. Just give me the beep, okay? It's not a real holiday. It's not. Answering machines and voicemail existed. Beep, message, hang up. My God, oh, hey, well, it really unnecessarily complicates my life. And I'm not really that bright, so when things become unnecessarily complicated, I get a little confused and kind of scared. Why don't you spray a little Febreze on the dog? That should just kind of nip this whole issue in the bud.
It's a real holiday.
And there are fake holidays. Father's Day, Mother's Day, Grandparents' Day, and Valentine's Day. Or as I like to call it, Single Awareness Day. Bullcrap. Invented by Hallmark so they could sell more cards. They're like, we need another holiday so we can swindle more people out of their money for our ridiculously overpriced sweet nothings. How do we reward them? We slaughtered them in the millions and, you know, gave them blankets laced with our virulent diseases that they had no immunity to. Describe to you adequately with words in the English language. I've been to houses that are coated in feces, and no matter how much Febreze you spray, you can paint a turd, it's still a turd. You can't. Thanks for teaching us how to live in this strange new land. In return, we're going to kill all of you. How much you want to think it's a national holiday, and you're all cutesy with your bullcrap. Valentine's Day is not an actual holiday. It is a sham. Last time I told someone I loved them, they pepper sprayed me in the face. Honestly, I can't stand the hype. It's a sham. It's a joke. You're a sellout if you celebrate it. You're a sellout. You're a sellout and you're a loser, and you'll be the first against the wall when the revolution comes. About Black Friday and why it's ridiculous and how I don't even leave my house